Welcome to the WatchOut channel. I'm the Haunting Hour 17, passionate about a classic, hinting at a specific time for paranormal activity and content. The video I will share is from the uploader Viral Now. The video, whether they have truth or not. You are the one who will judge what you have seen and what you have been touched by in the videos. Maraming salamat po and enjoy scary watching.
People are freaking out over these clips because no one can explain what happened in them. From unsettling things on live TV to utterly shocking visuals that gave everyone the creeps.
The is that? The is that in the woods?
During a New Year's broadcast of Comedy Club on TNT in January 2021, singer Polina Gagarina gave viewers a moment they can't forget. As the camera zoomed in, her face shifted unnaturally, her eyes blinking rapidly, then darting side to side, before curling into a disturbing, eerie smile. The entire transformation happened in seconds, but it was enough to spark wild theories online. Some claimed it was a glitch in the broadcast. Others whispered about possession, as if something had briefly taken control on live television. The neck glitch. During a press event, Hillary Clinton stood before cameras, answering questions as usual, when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, her neck jolted several times in rapid, sharp motions. Then she went right back to speaking as if nothing was out of the ordinary. The moment was brief, but viewers couldn't stop replaying it. Some brushed it off as nerves or a spasm, but there were a lot of theories. From talk of a glitch to more unsettling claims of control, the footage became one of the most bizarre clips tied to her public appearances. Eerie game footage. At a Nets game in Brooklyn, fans noticed something strange about Beyoncé. Sitting next to Jay-Z, she didn't look like her usual self. Her body swayed side to side in an odd rhythm, her face completely blank, and her eyes locked in a distant stare. It wasn't the lively energy people expect from her. It felt off, almost robotic. Some brushed it off as simple exhaustion.
As a longtime real estate executive for Christian Wakefield,
while others couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The moment, caught on camera for millions to see, left people unsettled. Ferris wheel mystery. In this unexplainable clip, two friends somewhere in America were outside a theme park when they noticed an unusual thing about the Ferris wheel. One of the cabins was mysteriously moving. And here's the thing, these cabins are not lightweight, but a storm that is strong enough can move them as seen in this shocking video. But in the clip I showed you earlier, there was no storm. As you can see these bushes here, and the trees close to the Ferris wheel, not a single leaf is moving on them. And since these cabins aren't mechanical, what was causing it to move this way? It's still not known. Crouched figure. Empty roads at night carry their own kind of unease. But for a group of friends, this drive turned into a nightmare. As their headlights swept across the dark stretch, something caught their eyes. A humanoid figure crouched by the roadside, limbs bent in unnatural angles, its glowing eyes locked on the car. It didn't move. It just watched, like a predator deciding whether to strike. Without slowing down, they sped off, but that single moment of eye contact burned itself into their memory forever. Chilling warehouse footage. Security cameras inside a warehouse recorded something that defies all logic. An employee was carrying out his usual organizing tasks when the unthinkable happened. A ladder beside him suddenly began to move on its own, as if pushed by an invisible force. The man, unsettled but trying to brush it off, kept working until he felt something chilling, a presence physically touching him. At that exact moment, the ladder moved again, which was too much for the employee, so he ran, making him flee in terror from the building. Glowing visitor. A group of friends stood by the roadside late at night, laughing and talking, when the air around them suddenly changed. Out of nowhere, a glowing orb drifted into view, hovering just above the ground. It didn't act like anything natural. It pulsed with a strange light, almost as if it carried its own energy. The friends stood frozen, watching it move slowly before vanishing without a trace. The encounter lasted only moments, but it was enough to leave them unsettled, unsure of what they had just witnessed. Levitation clip. One man's video quickly went viral after he claimed he had mastered the power to levitate. The footage shows him deep in the woods, surrounded by silence, when suddenly his body begins to rise, slowly hovering above the ground. For some, it was proof of something supernatural, maybe even black magic, but others were quick to call him out. Since the clip is short and doesn't show the full area, it's very possible he was attached to wires or lifted by something just off camera. What do you think? Scary red eyes.
Hello?
Late at night, a woman was pulled from sleep by noises outside her home. Half awake, she peeked through her window, and her stomach dropped. In the trees, a pair of glowing red eyes stared back at her, perfectly still, perfectly locked on her. It didn't blink, didn't move, just watched. She couldn't look away, like it had her trapped in its gaze.
The f*** is that? The f*** is that in the woods?
Standing there in the dark, it felt less like an animal and more like a demon waiting quietly for her. Terrifying encounter in woods. People often whispered about strange sounds echoing from the woods. Screams, cries, things no one could explain. One night, a group of friends went in to see for themselves. Deep inside, they found a woman sitting high up in a tree. She didn't look normal, more like something out of a nightmare. Her body was still, her eyes empty, like she wasn't human at all.
¿Cuál es tu nombre? Aguas, compa, bájala, bájala, bájala.
And just when they thought she was watching them, she vanished. After that night, the noises stopped, almost like she had been waiting to be seen. Peru mysterious figures. In an unknown Peruvian town, locals often spoke about eerie noises drifting from the woods at night. Most dismissed it as animals, until one group of friends decided to check for themselves. That's when they saw them. Several tall, shadowy figures standing silently among the trees. They were definitely humanoid, but their appearance was the only thing human-like about them. For a moment, no one moved. Then, without a sound, the figures drifted back into the forest and disappeared. After that night, the strange noises stopped completely, leaving behind only questions. Farmer's ghost appears. In rural Brazil, a farmer grew used to the quiet of his land until he started feeling watched. For weeks, he brushed it off, until one evening, he saw it for himself. Out in the fields moved a ghostly figure, tall and thin, wearing what looked like a wide hat. Its outline resembled a farmer, but its movements were unnatural, almost hollow. Before he could get closer, the figure dissolved into thin air, leaving him with more fear than answers. Glowing figure. In the forests of Brazil, a tourist captured something that still doesn't have a clear explanation. Between the trees stood a glowing figure. Its outline was human-like, but its body was made of pure light. It didn't move, didn't approach, just radiated in silence. From a distance, it almost seemed alive, but nothing about it looked natural. The tourist only watched for a moment before leaving, realizing some things are better observed than confronted. Chilling homecoming. She had just finished a workout and was ready to relax at home, but the moment she opened her front door, her stomach dropped. The Ring doorbell captured everything. She wasn't alone. Someone was already inside, waiting in the shadows. It wasn't a prank. It wasn't a mix-up. It was her stalker. That kind of discovery doesn't fade when the door shuts. It lingers, making even your own home feel like the last place you can be safe. Actual levitation?
Баланс на куске воздуха. Мои вибрации сейчас настолько...
Another man online claimed he could float off the ground. At first, people thought it was just a trick, but as the camera rolled, he slowly lifted upward, hanging in the air as if gravity didn't apply. The chat exploded, torn between calling it fake and wondering if something darker was at play. Some pointed out the possibility of wires or camera tricks, while others were convinced it looked too real. That thin line between illusion and something sinister left everyone unsettled, unsure of what they had really witnessed. Terrifying running figure. Trail cameras are meant for wildlife, but sometimes they capture something no one can explain. In this case, the footage revealed a human-shaped figure sprinting across the frame. Its head was unclear, its movements jerky and strange, more like a cartoon than a person. Stranger still, it looked like it was running from something, though nothing else appeared on camera. The clip left viewers with only one thought: what exactly was chasing it? Glowing eyes. During a late-night live video, things took a chilling turn. As she played, a dark shadow slipped into the frame, barely visible except for its glowing eyes staring from the background. Panicked, she bolted to her room and slammed the door shut. For a moment, silence. But when she peeked out through a crack, the figure was still there, right outside, unmoving, watching her. Those glowing eyes didn't blink, almost like it was waiting for her next move. The unsettling footage makes it clear, whatever that thing was, it wasn't part of the game. Creepy gaming stream. What started as a casual gaming stream quickly turned into something far more disturbing. Two friends were laughing at their screens when one noticed the door behind them had mysteriously opened. He got up, closed it, and shrugged it off. But moments later, the camera captured something impossible. The chair near the door began sliding slowly across the floor on its own. Both streamers froze, the laughter gone as they sat in silence. The chat went wild as they weren't sure if this was paranormal activity caught on camera or something truly evil. But either way, the eerie footage left viewers spooked. Backseat horror mystery.
Wait a minute. Before we continue watching, I noticed that 52% of our viewers are not yet subscribed to our channel. So subscribe now for our new videos coming soon, and I will upload them for you every day. Make sure to watch until the end of the video, because there are many more paranormal clips waiting for you at the end. Maraming salamat po, and enjoy scary watching.
The exact location isn't known or when it was recorded, but we know it happened in Mexico when a man noticed something strange in the car just ahead. At first, nothing seemed off until his eyes locked on the back seat. Sitting there was a woman, but not like any he'd seen before. Her glowing eyes cut through the storm, unblinking, fixed right on him. She looked trapped, almost as if the car itself was holding her in place. The more he stared, the heavier the air felt, like he was witnessing something he wasn't supposed to see. Vanishing UFO. A quiet trail turned into something otherworldly for one hiker. As he headed back, the woods grew eerily still. Then he noticed it. Hanging in the air ahead was a massive, cylinder-shaped object. It floated silently, too large and too perfect to belong there. Before he could take a step closer, it dissolved into thin air, leaving no trace it had ever been there. To this day, he swears it was a craft, watching him, then disappearing before he could prove it. Mysterious, scary encounter. What was supposed to be a peaceful camping trip ended in terror for a group of friends. Late into the night, strange noises echoed through the woods. At first, they thought it was an animal, until they stepped out of the tent and froze. Standing a few feet away was a tall figure in white clothing, long hair draping down, and instead of a face, a skull-like head stared back. Its movements were stiff, almost like it was warning them to leave. That was enough for the group. They ran into the night and never set foot in that area again. Demon Lure. In Iraq, a mother froze in fear when she saw her baby crawling toward a deserted patch of land. Standing there was a dark, twisted figure, crouched low, almost coaxing the child forward. It didn't look human. Its presence felt wrong, heavy, demonic. Heart racing, she grabbed nearby rocks and hurled them until the figure slipped back into the shadows. Snatching up her baby, she ran. To this day, she prays that thing never shows itself again. Mysterious cryptid. Some friends thought it'd be fun to camp in a part of the woods everyone else avoided. At first, everything was calm, but when night fell, a deep, terrifying sound could be heard coming from around their tent. They stepped outside, and then suddenly they started running. The person who was recording, Jacob, did a brave thing by turning his camera around. And right outside their tent was a mysterious cryptid that was on all fours. Since it was dark, it's impossible to tell what it looked like, but 4 thin limbs, a round, hairless-looking head, has convinced many people online that it was a rake or a skinwalker. Helicopter versus UFO. One piece of footage has fueled even more suspicion about what's being kept from us. A government helicopter can be seen chasing a strange object across the night sky. At first, it looked like a light, but the way it darted and shifted directions proved it wasn't a normal aircraft. The pursuit went on, but the object outmaneuvered the helicopter with ease. Clips like this make people believe that whatever these crafts are, they're not human technology. And no matter how much secrecy surrounds them, moments like this keep forcing the truth into the open. Mythical man sighting.
Holy...
The woods at night are unsettling on their own, but for one group of friends, the fear became real. A loud scream echoed through the trees, stopping them in their tracks. They scanned the area with their flashlights until a pale figure darted between the shadows.
You see it where?
It wasn't clear, just a short glimpse, but it was enough to make their hearts race. Some of them were convinced it was the legendary Lizard Man, a creature often whispered about in rural towns. Whether it was truly him or something else hiding in the woods, no one could say for sure. Tree trunk cryptid. A quiet, snowy hike turned terrifying when a hiker stopped by a hollow tree. At first, it looked empty, but then, from the darkness inside, two glowing eyes locked onto him. The body stayed hidden, its shape unclear, but the feeling was undeniable. This wasn't normal. Whatever lived inside that trunk had been waiting, watching. The hiker didn't stick around to find out more. UFO in cloud? On a bright afternoon, a man spotted a single, heavy-looking cloud hanging oddly alone in the sky. Nothing strange, until sparks of light began flickering inside. The cloud seemed too solid, too intentional, and then the truth set in. This wasn't a cloud at all, but something hiding behind it. Witnesses believe it was a UFO using the skies as camouflage, watching silently before fading away like it was never there. Glowing orb. High in the Colombian mountains, a hiker found himself swallowed by fog when something impossible appeared. A glowing orb shimmered through the mist, bright enough to light the trail around him. It didn't flicker or fade. It hovered, pulsing like it was feeding off the air itself. For long moments it stayed there, almost watching. Before vanishing without a trace. The silence afterward felt heavier than the fog ever did. Unsettling doorstep woman. Just past midnight in Columbus, Ohio, a doorbell camera recorded something that made even neighbors uneasy. A woman stood at the front door with her mouth stretched unnaturally wide open. She never knocked, never said a word, just stood there shuffling her feet, jaw still unhinged. For several minutes, she didn't move at all. With the homeowner away, the footage quickly spread online, and many compared it to scenes from possession movies. The fact that it was real footage made it even more disturbing. Creepy doorbell capture. In broad daylight, a doorbell camera caught something that looked straight out of a horror film. A man stood at the doorstep, not moving, not speaking, just staring straight ahead. He wasn't delivering anything, wasn't knocking, only watching eerily. The longer he stood there, the more unsettling the footage became. Creepy nighttime capture. At 4 in the morning, when the whole street was quiet, a woman wandered up to a front door and started acting strangely. The homeowner slept through it all, never hearing a sound. Only the next day did he see the footage, and the way she moved made no sense. He didn't know her face, didn't know where she came from, and had never seen her in the neighborhood before. Just an unexplained visit in the middle of the night, caught on camera, leaving behind nothing but unease. Unsettling live moment. He thought it would be funny to stream himself faking a ritual, complete with candles and chants for effect. At first, viewers laughed it off as just another act, but then every single candle went out at the same time. The sudden blackout turned the playful scene into something deeply unsettling. His reaction said it all. Pure panic as he ran from the room, leaving the audience stunned by what they had just witnessed. What was supposed to be a harmless joke quickly became a chilling moment no one could explain. Panama encounter. Late-night drives can feel endless, but one truck driver in Panama had his routine shattered. Passing near the woods, a sudden flash of light burst through the trees. Curious, he pulled over and walked closer. Just ahead, a strange object hovered low to the ground, glowing faintly in the darkness. Its shape wasn't clear, but it definitely wasn't anything he'd seen before. The driver didn't wait around to figure it out. He left quickly, still shaken. What exactly was hidden in those woods that night has never been explained. Long-limbed figure. During a late shift in Mexico, a security guard thought it would be another quiet night until the monitor showed something he could barely believe. A tall, humanoid figure stood just outside, its limbs stretched longer than normal, its posture unnatural. It didn't move at first, just stared directly at the camera. But the moment it realized it was being watched, it bolted into the darkness. No one has ever been able to explain what it was, but that single glimpse was enough to leave the guard and anyone who's seen the clip with a lasting sense of dread. Disturbing desert pit.
Has bones and boots and backpacks. Yeah.
In a remote desert, far from towns or trails, a team of explorers stumbled on something out of place. Beneath the sand was a pit filled with scattered school backpacks, torn clothes, and remains lying close by. The sight was so unnatural, so wrong, it felt like the desert itself was hiding a secret. Online, theories spread quickly. Some called it a crime site. Others said something much worse. A satanic cult or something like that. Whatever the truth, the pit left behind only dread and unanswered questions. Crawling leaf. Deep in the woods, a man spotted what he thought was just another leaf on the ground. But then it twitched. Slowly, it began to crawl in a way no leaf ever should. Its body still mimicked the shape and veins of a leaf, yet the movement was disturbingly real. Unsure of what he had just found, he recorded the strange sight and shared it online. Viewers were split. Some swore it was an undiscovered species, while others were convinced it was something far darker. A creature hiding in plain sight. Hidden passage. One boy's adventure in the woods turned into something far creepier than he expected. While wandering, he found a strange hole in the ground. It looked man-made, not natural. Driven by curiosity, he climbed inside and followed a long, narrow passage that seemed endless. Eventually, he reached a heavy, locked door deep underground. The air was cold, and every step made him more uneasy. Fear finally took over, and he turned back, leaving the mystery sealed. What lay behind that door has never been discovered. Flying goblin. In the forests of Peru, what started as an ordinary walk turned into something straight out of folklore. A man spotted a tiny figure circling in the air, too small and strange to be human. Curiosity pushed him closer, and he managed to catch it. But once home, he realized the being was lifeless. Its body looked like a small goblin, with pointed ears and thin limbs. But goblins don't fly, do they? To this day, no one can explain what exactly he found. Unexplainable activity. Something unusual unfolded in the small town of Ashland, Oregon. Security cameras captured paranormal activity in the woods in the backyard on August 18th, 2025. It happened around 10:19 p.m. when a strange, mysterious, unidentifiable thing appeared out of nowhere, then vanishing just as quickly, as if it had teleported in and out of existence. What makes it creepier are the subtle details. A skunk can be seen nearby, its tail raised the entire time, a sign it felt threatened by something. In the comments, one person even claimed that if you look closely, something can be seen moving when the man was outside with his flashlight. The family has since kept their property under close watch, and if the camera really did catch something slipping in and out of this world, who knows if it might return. Disturbing disguise. One of the most unsettling dangers doesn't come from dark alleys or abandoned houses. It happens online. A safeguarding team recently uncovered a case where someone was pretending to be much younger on social media, just to connect with real kids. At first, it looked like harmless conversation, but it could have led to something much worse. The person was reported, and an alert was pushed out through the Safer Schools network. It's a chilling reminder that not every creep hides in the shadows sometimes. They hide behind a profile picture. And now, let's move on to the subscribers pick. Seeing something like this would give anyone the creeps, and it's a really scary head-turner. But Julia Barney, a Brazilian TikTok star born on July 10th, 1996, is not only famous for her creative dance routines, but also because of one terrifyingly odd move. One particularly viral dance move sees her twist her head backward, almost a full 180 degrees. It's as eerie as it sounds, though clearly just a flexible trick and very freak-out inducing to watch. One comment even speculated, is her spine made of rubber? Capturing how uncanny it looks. Anyway, don't try it, and if anyone were to see her in the night, on a lonely road, running is the first thing their body would do, even if their minds couldn't comprehend.
Please like and subscribe to my WatchOut channel. This is a big help to me as a content creator. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated, because I am old, so please, and to give you many scary and horror videos to come. Maraming salamat po, and see you again in my next videos. I'm the Hunting Hour 17.